Yeah, welcome to another session with the Wise Counselor. Today I want to share with you guys some insights that will help you to thrive in Nigeria in the current economic challenges that we are passing through. Now I know a lot of us are passing through some very difficult times and we're wondering, is leaving this country, even if it means going to Niger or going to Cameroon, a better option for us? But I want to share with you guys some principles that I picked up from studying the Jewish rabbi called Jesus. I was recently reading some of the things he shared in the book of Mark, and I want to share with you guys certain principles that you can learn from him that will enable you to thrive in this current economic situation. Well, the story I want to learn, pick the business principle and life principles for, is the story where they said he came into a house. That's Jesus in the Bible, and when he was in that particular house, there was a massive crowd, and the crowd were trying to get to hear him. And they said there was this particular sick man who was paralyzed and couldn't walk, but four of his friends took him on the mat, opened the roof of somebody's house and brought him down. But the key point I want to share is not really the story, but what are the lessons for you that can enable you to thrive in the present economic challenges? The first principle you must understand is that to ask yourself, if I'm passing through a very tough time, do I have at least 4 friends that can carry me towards the solution to my problem? Yesterday I was listening to a very successful American multimillionaire guy named David Betts, Patrick Bet-David, and he was sharing something very important. He said that he was asked, assuming you lose everything you have today in America, how long will it take you to recover? He said maximum 4 weeks. And said, they say how? He said anybody who doesn't have enough contacts that he can key into and raise him out of any challenge within 4 weeks, that person doesn't have a chance of surviving. And that the first thing any young man or any young woman needs to start to do at an early stage in their career is to start to build a network of friends and associates that when they have serious challenges can come to their aid. The only reason why that young man that was sick was able to access Jesus who healed him was because he had 4 friends who were willing to go the extra mile to get him solutions for his problem. So the question for you is that in the present economic challenges that we're facing in Nigeria, how many of your friends understand what it takes to lift you out of any financial or economic challenge you might be passing through? How many of your friends are so talented in the area of maybe technology that they say, okay, you are passing through tough time, come and learn this about technology? Assuming you have a crisis of about 500,000, 1 million, 10 million, do you have enough friends that can rally around you to help you raise that fund to solve your problem? Which means the first thing you must start to do as a young Nigerian who wants to thrive in the current economic challenges that we are passing through is to start to seek for those friends that can come to your aid at a particular trying period. So which means you must have at least 4 friends that can lift you out of any economic challenge that you find yourself. The next thing is, if you remember in the story, they said, Jesus said to the young man, rise up, take your bed and walk. And the young man rose up, picked up his bed and started to walk. What this means is that learning to understand and obey instructions are critical for you in thriving in this particular dispensation. It means that if there are issues that you want to master, you must understand the guiding principles that once you learn this principle and apply them, will teach you and guide you out of the challenges that you might be facing. What this means is that as a young person, as a young Nigerian, you must look at yourself and say, okay, in thriving, what are the principles for thriving in Nigeria? Who are those who have succeeded in Nigeria? And what can I learn from them? What are the ways, what are the strategies that they applied in their life that enable them to thrive? And when you learn these principles, learn these strategies, you must follow the instructions on how to apply them. So for instance, I read pharmacy as my first course, and I know that assuming you are sick, for instance, let's say you have malaria, the drug you want to take will tell you, take this drug 12 hours apart. Now, if you decide to say, okay, let me take the 2 doses in the morning and tomorrow I take the 2 doses, yes, you are taking the drug, but they will not give you the results you want. We are in a period where people must learn to understand the underlying instruction that gives result and apply those instructions to their life. Look at areas, look at the way you've been doing things and ask yourself, what are the instructions that guide results? For instance, if you buy a new television, you buy a new phone, the first thing you do is to go through the manual. The manual is the instruction on how to use those phones, or how to use the television. The same way too, there are books that contain principles on how to succeed and how to thrive in life. And one of the things you must do is to find those books and to learn from them on what you need to do to thrive in the current dispensation. The next thing too that I learned from that reading that particular passage about Jesus and what he did was that now there was something he said to the young man. First of all, he said to him, your sins are forgiven first. Now he now tells to him, rise up, pick up your bed and walk. What that got me to understand is that before you try to address any problem in Nigeria, any problem you are facing, the first thing is to get to understand what is the root cause of that problem. Address the root cause before you start to address the symptoms or manifestation of those problems. A lot of time we are in such a hurry to get rapid results that we don't take our time to understand the root cause of the problem we are facing. For instance, you are not making so much money, for instance. What you now start to do is, what do I do to raise more money? But you're not asking yourself, what is the root cause? Is the root cause that I don't understand business principle? Is the root cause that I don't know how to relate with people? The first thing you must do is, for every problem you are facing in the current economic challenges in Nigeria, is go back and ask yourself, what is the root cause? If Jesus had just told that young man, pick up your bed and walk, he might rise up and walk, but before he gets to the door, he will collapse, because the fundamental underlying cause of his problem was the sins that he has been carrying along. So for each and every one of us passing through some very serious time, it might be, okay, I can't buy bread for my family, I can't buy food for my family. Those are just symptoms. Those are not the underlying cause of your problem. The underlying cause of your problem is that I don't understand how money is generated and multiplied. Which means just trying to get money to buy bread will not solve, yes, it might solve the immediate need of feeding, but the long-term problem of constantly having enough money to take care of your problem will not be solved. You know, in medicine, before you take care of a symptom, let's say somebody is having fever, you might give the person an analgesic, it will reduce the fever for the moment, but give the fever a few hours, it will come back. Why? Because the fundamental cause of that fever has not been taken care of, which might be malaria, it must be an infection. It means that what medicine tries to do is attacking the underlying cause of that particular ailment. So for you, for whichever ailment you are currently passing through, whichever area you are struggling in, stop tackling that symptom. First, sit down and ask yourself, what is the root cause of this problem that I'm facing?